Welcome to Module 2, Backward Design for Hybrid Learning. In Module 1, you learned about how your physical classroom combined with your online classroom make up your hybrid classroom. It's not enough to simply make your lessons and content available online. The learning experiences themselves have to still be meaningful regardless of the classroom the student is in at the time. That does not mean making two of everything, but it does mean creating things that can and will be used in both environments. You're syncing the two. In order to make academically rigorous, effective hybrid lessons, we have to intentionally plan for them to be hybrid lessons. This doesn't necessarily mean making all new lessons and resources, but it does mean intentionally adapting them. But before we start adapting our plans into this hybrid model, we first have to take a look at how we plan to begin with. First, let's take a look at the traditional planning process, where we identify what we're going to teach, how we're going to teach it, and how we will assess it at the end. That means that what we teach is the first decision, and our approach and assessments are created after that. If you ever catch yourself thinking things like, what text will I teach this year? Or this app is really cool, I'll make a lesson for it. Or even, we're not going to have time to cover this topic. These are all questions that apply to a traditional planning model where we decide on the topic and then fill in the activities from there. This is a topic-driven approach that's also highly teacher-centered. What are we teaching? How will we teach it? And how will we assess it? This also means we adapt to new time constraints by saying, we need to get through this, so I'm going to cut out some of the activities. We may guarantee students still get through the topic, but did they get an authentic learning experience out of it? Enter backward design. This is a planning strategy that starts at the end and, you guessed it, works backward. Instead of saying, what will I teach? You ask yourself, what do my students need to know or be able to do by the end? From there, you determine what sufficient evidence of that learning will need to look like. And only then do you determine strategies you'll use to scaffold up to those same goals. This is planning with the end in mind. Having to quickly adapt for things like timing or approach are more flexible while still focusing on those same end goals. In fact, it enables for more student-centered learning, where there may be flexibility in how students demonstrate those final goals to you. Now, your adaptations are less about what the topic is and more about the pedagogical reason you're teaching it in the first place. In this module, we're going to walk you through the first two stages of backward design. But let's make it real. Identify one actual unit you want to focus on. Maybe it's your first academic unit of the year. If you teach multiple preps, pick the one you'd like to dig into. We'll take you through the graphic organizer linked on this page, so please open it in a new tab if you haven't already. It's going to help you visualize your plans as well as the hybrid considerations your particular unit now needs. You won't be turning this graphic organizer in for this module, so feel free to work at your own pace. What we do ask is that you fill in this organizer by the time you attend your workshop, so you'll be prepared to start building actual hybrid content.